All righty. I'm here with Billy Musio, grocery outlet independent operator of Bend, Oregon. How's it going, Billy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for spending a little time here. Really excited to just chat with you about your kind of tenure as an operator with grocery outlet and kind of your thoughts on variables that make people successful. We have so many people like you coming from kind of conventional retail backgrounds wondering, is this a path I can take? And just a little time hearing your perspective, having taken the path, will be really fun for us. So,
Yeah, I came from conventional world. I started my career off at Safeway. I was a young manager. I moved up pretty quickly up the ladder. It was fast tracked, as some would say. And then from there, I went and worked briefly at Smart and Final Extra stores, and then went and worked for Tesco, which owned Fresh and Easy's in California, which is where I met another operator who kind of recommended me into the program. And he said, you're young, you're a lot younger than I am. Um, I think you're going to be good at this, and I think you have a lot of years ahead of you to really prosper and to learn the grocery outlet way and to become successful. And I think you should really take a hard look at this. And at first, I remember like the training department reaching out, and I was thinking, nah, this just sounds too good to be true. And if it's usually too good to be true, there's something's off, something has to give. And I remember meeting everybody at grocery outlet and was thinking, man, what's all this Kool-Aid everybody's drinking? And I was like, man, this just doesn't seem right. Something's off here.
yeah.
And I started doing more research and reaching out to other operators and reaching out to people who've been in their stores, and I started realizing, no, this is the real deal. And eventually pursued it and went through the whole process of the recruiting and the hiring and became an AOT and then became an operator and have been with the company since 2012 now. So best decision I've ever made for myself, my family, my career, and couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. Yeah, boy, 2012, time flies.
Yes, it
And
does.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Two stores, right? Started in Wairika and then now Bend. Is that right?
Yeah, we owned two stores. We owned Wairika. We opened that one ground up, and then we were there for 2 years, and we left that store after 2 years. We're positive like 22% from day one,
Mm-hmm.
and then we got Bend, Oregon in 2016, because back then you trained a lot longer. It was a different process than it is today,
Yeah.
and so we trained for quite some time, but then we got Bend, Oregon after we were in Wairika for 2 years, and um, we've been here since, and we've grown and developed this store, and um, this couldn't ask for a better location. I mean,
Yeah.
Bend, Oregon, who wouldn't want to live here? And to see our store grow to what it's become now, and have 43 employees that we're responsible for, and a team that we've built is just a blessing. It's just been a blessing for our
Yeah.
family.
Billy, talking about your employees, like we think a lot about like the skills that someone needs to have coming from the conventional world to be, you don't come in knowing everything. We know that there's training, but we do think there's some key skills, leadership being one of them, right? Uh, Curious, like when you got in and you became an operator, um, what were you really drawing from your previous career to kind of get yourself in position to be successful as a leader?
Yeah, I definitely think leadership is probably one of the most important skills that an individual can have coming into this world.
Mhm.
Uh, from day one, you're leading your crew. That's in training. You're helping also with the set crew. You're help lead them as well for your vision and your guidance. But after the training wheels, as like I like to say, are kind of removed, and the store is handed over to you, it's 100% on you. So that's up to you to train your staff, to lead your staff, to empower your staff, and to help them grow with you. Because you're only as good as your weakest link in your store, and if you're not going to get your team up to speed, your store is going to suffer. So I think that by having strong leadership skills and training your employees and empowering your employees, and allowing them to make decisions for themselves, autonomy. Like I like to say, grocery outlet gives us as operators autonomy, but it's also important as an operator to give your crew that autonomy and have them make their own decisions, have ownership of themselves and their departments, and help them grow and blossom in order for your store to succeed.
Yeah. How did you find being a leader within grocery outlets to be similar or different than, Safeway and Fresh and Easy and your former life?
Similarities would be, holding people accountable and making sure that you are giving them the tools necessary to grow and develop and helping empower them.
Mhm.
I'd say the main difference is that somebody coming from Safeway like myself to somebody coming into grocery outlet is just the quantity of employees that you had at Safeway far succeeded the quantities of employees that you have here at grocery outlet, to where they're more family. And that's why I personally love it. Safeway, I mean, I had almost 200 employees. It was hard to touch individuals every single day and to make an impact on those individuals every single day. Where in my store, I can go around daily, talk to every one of my employees, ask how they're doing, how is their family doing, be involved inside their life outside of work, and to show them that we care and help build them up and become just better employees and better people all the way around. There was a saying that somebody a long time ago, when I first came into management, one of my store managers, when I was an assistant, um, said something and it stuck with me. And he said, would you rather have somebody run through a wall for you or run through a wall at you? And I took that and really ran with it, because I wanted people to be loyal. I wanted people to have respect for me as an operator, have respect for the store, and treat it like their own, and giving them the tools necessary and the ability to make those decisions on their own. You see that they do. And there's bonus plans that we involve in giving those people metrics that they have to hit and to earn more money. But it really shows the fact that we trust in them, we empower them, and having those leadership skills allows them as well to flourish.
Great. That's great. I think a lot about other skills that people kind of just inherently have when they come in here. And, one of them, I see this amongst our operators all the time, is this want to be connected to their community, right? And maybe they haven't had a chance to do that in the conventional world, but that desire's there. And I find that many operators flourish when they get into grocery outlet. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys have been able to do that?
Yeah. So I like to tell people, especially like training, when we used to train AOTs, was pick your niche. You're going to want to touch everybody that you possibly can, but you physically can't do it. And so find your niche, find what's important to you, your family, your store, your community, and just really focus in on that. So like for us in our family, it's youth sports, it's children, it's children activities. And if something doesn't fit within that niche, then we might make an exception. But being able to focus on those and make an impact in that community, I feel goes a lot further than just trying to, touch bases a little bit everywhere. And so, we'll sponsor the Little League baseball team. We'll sponsor the basketball teams. We'll throw up things in the gyms. We'll do, Girl Scout cookies. We'll do everything that we can to help the children, because that's what grocery outlet's about. It's about family. And it's about being a mom and pop store. And it's about making an impact in your community and connecting with your community. And we found that if you can make a connection with not just the children, but the families themselves, they have that personal connection to your store, and they want to shop with you, and they want to come visit you, and they want to support you. And so, not just to mention, it's just the right thing to do. And so to be able to make an impact, and then in return, gain the loyalty of the business and the family back in your store, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And, seen you guys flourish a lot with, I've seen so many of our operators really, take that passion and turn it into something material when they get into their stores. Another common thing that operators and even yourself has shared with me was, to have a really cursory or at least basic understanding of just financials, right?
Yes.
In your former life, were you given some exposure to costs of the store? Like, how did you find that it helped you get ready for understanding the financials in grocery
Yeah.
outlet?
So Safeway, you had P&Ls, and you'd see your P&L, and then usually like your report card, you make adjustments, try to hit profits, whatever it may be, which is a lot of that's transferable to grocery outlet. I think it starts though at home for people. I think that in order for you to have an understanding of financial acumen for your business, you have to be, secure at home. You have to be able to manage your own checkbook, because it's just a larger scale. Yes, the numbers are, astronomically higher, but if you can manage your checkbook at home, you can manage your own personal finances, and you have exposure in a business like Safeway or whatever conventional world you're coming from, to be able to kind of tie all that together and then relate it to grocery outlet, just on a larger scale, I think is what's needed to succeed. And grocery outlet gives you the tools to succeed, and will dive in deeper and help individuals with a deeper understanding of financial acumen in relation to your business. But having a base understanding, I think, is vital and utmost importance coming into the program.
Yeah. And appreciate you sharing these kind of like innate skills. Talking about the AOT program, we look at that as this bridge, right? This bridge that says, here's these really great motivated retail leaders with some of these skills, but we have to help them kind of refine and get themselves ready for the responsibilities of running their own store. And that's why that, as you know, that program exists. I'd love for you to kind of just share broadly, what do you feel is really important to hone on in the AOT training program to get yourself ready to be an operator for other retail managers that are looking to kind of shape themselves up for this?
Yeah, I think it starts with dedication. It's a commitment to yourself, and it's a commitment to your family. There's going to be times in which it's difficult. You're used to being in a position of power as a store manager or a director, wherever you came from, where you don't really have to answer to anybody other than the district or the regional or whoever it may be. And now you're, working for an operator and learning the ropes, essentially, of how grocery outlet does, the grocery outlet language, the grocery outlet way. And you're learning how to do it, not all over again, but you're just learning it to do it in our way. And while you're working with another operator, it's their store. And so I think having dedication and not getting frustrated, for some people who may look at that as a challenge, I think that just look to your future and to understand that you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your family, and you're going to invest for your own personal success and your business, and just take your time, relax, don't try to rush it. Because where else are you going to get paid that's going to teach you how to run a business? I can't think of anywhere off the top of my head. And I just think that having that dedication is probably the most important step, and just having hunger and drive, like wanting to complete your training, wanting to be the best, wanting to succeed. And those two kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Here you are kind of sitting at this end of the rainbow to some degree. We look at you as a very successful operator. When you came into the AOT program, you just shared a lot of really great insights. What was your biggest adjustment coming from your old world to becoming an operator? What did you focus on the most in AOT training that you felt helped get you ready?
Understanding of reports. I'm a numbers guy. And I mean, we've talked off air about, my fantasy football background and analytics and just diving into numbers. And I think that it's very important as an AOT training for your own store to understand reports. What is the purpose of the report? How can you read it? How can you make adjustments? And tying that in with your financial acumen, and making sure that you are not only relaying that information to your team, but even when you're an AOT and you're training, understanding that and making, subtle recommendations to operators of maybe tasks to complete or things that you wanted to do to better their store, to help you in the future of learning to do in your store. And so I think reports are just so important. There's so much information. The tools that Grocery Outlet gives us are just top notch. I mean, really coming from Safeway, some of the tools that we had were far superior than the ones that we had at Safeway. Just being able to dive in deep and really analyze, subclasses and classes and space allocation and doing all the things that as a store manager, you don't do. And so for me, it was thrilling. I loved it. It was, hey, like, look how much we sold out of this 4 feet, and what if we expand this to 8 feet, and going through the numbers and where do we have to take it from? What's another subclass that's underperforming, and being able to make those decisions. I mean, to me, it's just one of the most fun things about my job.
Yeah. No, I smile when I hear you say that, because yeah, we've talked a lot offline about how much you love to dive into numbers. And my team and I, recruiters, as we work with candidates, we hear that all the time. boy, the reports and the insight that is given to us is so much more detailed than what we used to get in our former lives. I always kind of think to myself, well, we have a more demanding customer, right? That our independent operators are our partners, and they're asking and demanding this information of, you know, to your point, what's moving, in our regions, what margins, just so we can make the best decisions. And um, I love that about the company. The company's focused on giving that information because nothing's sacred. There shouldn't be anything hidden, right? When we're partners. And I agree with you. I think that the operators that aren't afraid of that dive into that, they just make really great decisions in their store. And I've
Yeah, and
walked
that's
stores. They tell you exactly why product is where.
and that's the beauty about our company, is that they'll listen to us operators and they'll make adjustments, and they'll give you the tool that you like. Maybe you need something just tweaked, and you ask for a tweak to make your life easier. Next thing you know, it's happening, and everyone is ever like, oh man, I'm so glad they adjusted this report. And it works, company wide. So to be able to have the open dialogue with the home office and the operators and the community coming together with a common goal of making everybody's job easier and better, I think it's nice that it's just that bridge is there and it's always open.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, I'll ask you kind of one last perspective here before I let you go, and it's transitioning to being an owner versus a manager is fun but not easy. As we can hear here, there's a lot of responsibility and drive and hunger. You made that decision a while ago, and I'd love for you to just kind of share your perspective with others thinking about this as to why it's the right move, why you feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, and I understand for a lot of people, it's a tough jump, and that initial step is the hardest step because you're used to a solid paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or whatever you're paid, and you're going into an unknown. You're going to a company that maybe you just started researching, and there's a lot of uncertainty, unknowns, your future. Where are you going to be living? Where, what store are you going to be operating? And now those are all scary thoughts. But like I said initially, you have to have hunger. You have to have dedication, and you have to have a leap of faith as well. And I think that being able to have faith that you made the right decision for your family, like we did, almost, 9 years ago now, is it's the best decision we've ever made. Looking back and saying, we had a tough year, or training was a little bit longer than we thought for us at the time. And it happens, but you know what? You do it to better yourself. You do it to better your family. You do it for your own success in your career. And once we got into our store, all those eases those concerns just eased, and you start to see, it starts to all make sense. And you start to see how cash flow comes in, and, then you start building your business. But I would just have to say, the autonomy that Grocery Outlet gives us to make the right decisions for your business, to make the right decisions for your family. If you don't want to go in every day, you don't have to go in every day. But I mean, as a business owner, you want to make sure your store's properly staffed, or that it's running properly, or there's no fires to be put out in the retail world, as we'd like to say. And you don't have to. And you just email your DSM, hey, I'm not going to be in for today or tomorrow, whatever it is. And you don't have to ask for permission. It's your business. It's you get to do things your way. And for me, that freedom, the ability to make those decisions on my own, to have that autonomy, like we talked about, the reports, family, days off, you name it, across the board, the flexibility and the work-life balance that you have between your family and your store is second to none. Other than maybe opening your own business or doing your own thing, which is scarier to me. But you have a safety net here with Grocery Outlet, a built-in success, and take the leap of faith, and I can promise you it'll be the best decision you've ever made for your family.
Well, Billy, we're glad you did.
Yeah,
And,
me too.
in your time here with us, you've helped train operators, you've helped mentor people, you shared so much insight, you've helped us build some of these tools, and really appreciate the partnership that you brought to the table here. And thank you for the time here to just kind of share your perspective with people who are just wondering whether or not it's worth, going to the website, ownagroceryoutlet.com, or talking to a recruiter and seeing if this is right for them. We hope others follow in your path.
Yeah, you're very much welcome. I want people to know this is the real deal. I mean, and I wouldn't be here if I thought otherwise. I wouldn't be helping Grocery Outlet making a video. I have not been happier in my life with the decisions that we've made with this company and the growth that we have had as operators. So thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Grocery Outlet. We couldn't be happier.
Well, thanks for your time, Billy. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.